Turner's Travels proudly presents La Habana, Havana, Cuba, Communism in the Sun. That's the final stage of the era of fame. The first one is the Spanish colonial period from the 1500s to the late 1800s when Cuba got its independence. Then it was an American neo-colonial power which lasted till 1959. During that period, people protested against the Batista American-sponsored corruption. Fidel Castro won the revolution in 1959. He likes to think, and his brother likes to think, the ruling president Raúl, that the revolution continues. Viva la revolución! We are at La Punta on the west side of Havana, near the lower level fort, and the one that the camera's pointing on was finished in the late 1500s. Cuba has become synonymous with communism, sugarcane, cigars and rum. It's a low income economy, low producing economy. It has suffered from material shortages for the last decades, especially since the Russian or the Soviet state tended to collapse and a lot of its provinces became independent. People love Havana. It's one of the most exciting capitals in the world. It has gained the sponsorship and status of a United Nations cultural protection. It is full of colonial buildings, beautiful squares, palaces, and it's very well preserved. Some of it is pretty run down, but all parts are being slowly restored. The world enjoys coming to Havana. It's very comfortable, everything's here for us, but the locals will tell you that they have material difficulties, wages are low, prices are expensive, a lot of the goods are exported, like cash crops, like coffee, and if Cubans want to buy coffee, it's pretty expensive. Many Cubans want to emigrate. Money gets sent back into the country to their families for those who emigrate to Florida or have escaped sailing 90 miles from here to Key Largo in Florida Keys, United States of America. It's a very musical, laid-back part of the world. It's romantic, it's sunny, it's hot, and in February it's the ideal month for visitors. It's not too hot, not too cold, there's an absence of rain, and if we pan the camera to the right and slowly take in the Cuban musicians and the Baluarte, the fortress to the right. And what we'll do, we'll keep turning the camera and we'll take in the Malecon and we'll do a 360-degree turn, and the Malecon there is where Castro was celebrating victory in 1959 on the seafront in La Habana, and we're now pointing the camera to the west and we're over the open sea towards Florida. And this is where we finished the video, where we started, pointing at the Punta on the east side of the entrance to Havana Harbor. The harbor is very deep, it goes a few miles inland. The ships come through here with ease because it's very deep and wide enough. And this is Turner's Travels saying adios, espero que visiten esta parte del mundo.